So, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Guevara Silano from 3CRI-A1-11. I'm presenting forensic chemistry and toxicology laboratory exercises. So, let's proceed to the physical evidence procedures. In collecting physical evidence in a crime scene, the police investigator has to wear a protective gear not only to prevent his or her own body chemicals to affect the evidence, but as a standard procedure of protection. So, dito daw po sa collecting physical evidence, kailangan daw po na yung police investigator is naka-proper gear. Nakasuot ng gloves or face mask para maiwasan makontaminate ang isang evidence. So, cordon the area and take notes for relevant data that should be noted. So, dito daw po kailangan daw natin mag-note taking. So, find all the possible evidence, mark them, and place a number each, and photograph all the possible evidence. The golden rule of crime scene investigation states that do not touch, change, or alter anything until it has been identified, measured, and photographed. So, let's proceed to the chain of custody procedure. So, the procedure of chain of custody for the evidence at the crime scene usually starts with the collection done by the investigator. So, the marking and labeling begins our control and custody of the items of evidence. So, the proper collecting of bullet must avoid direct touch to prevent contamination. So, using crucible tongue is the proper way of collecting the bullet. So, the blood or any liquid evidence must collect using cotton buds to prevent contamination. So, before the collected evidence is transferred to laboratory, it must be labeled by date and time it was collected, a complete description of evidence, and where it was found, and the investigator name and sign. So, dito daw po sa chain of custody procedure, kailangan daw po buo yung information or tama para maiwasan po yung confusion. So, let's proceed to the securing evidence at the blast sites, victims, and the area. So, the investigator must take steps to identify and remove safety hazards that may further threaten victims, bystanders, and public safety personnel. So, they must exercise due caution while performing emergency operation, so to avoid injuries themselves and others. So, first, check the victims. So, before anything else, kailangan muna natin i-check yung mga victims doon sa blast sites. So, second, cordon the area to secure the crime scene to avoid contamination of explosive debris. So, third, place a number on each evidence and make sure that the whole area was searched to identify if chemical explosive is present. So, and take note, do not touch, change, or alter anything until it has been identified, measured, and photographed. So, let's proceed to the paraffin test procedure. Paraffin test is a paraffin cast of the hand of a person suspected of firing a gun is subjected to a chemical analysis to determine the presence of powder particles. So, the first procedure, the tester will dip the suspect hands in a sort of melted wax. So, using crucible tongue, ginawa namin yun na lagyan or patakan yung kamay ng isang suspect. So, second, when the wax has had the time to cool, the suspect is left with lovely white gloves. So, third, the wax must peel off the hands and examine for flecks of evidence that he has shot a gun. So, dito naman po sa last part na picture, yung wala ng kamay, yun na po yung i-examine sa laboratory para malaman kung siya ba ay nagpaputok ng baril. So, that's all, ma'am. Thank you.